Hi guys, did you know that you can create your own custom map in Power BI? Not only this, you can also link it to data and have it dynamically respond to filters and slicers. In this video, I'll take you through the process of converting a CAD drawing of a housing master plan into interactive Power BI dashboard. Plus, you'll find all the materials covered in this tutorial in a link in the description. So now, grab a cup of coffee, sit back and watch. So this is a master plan CAD drawing we want to visualize inside Power BI. We have different housing plots and we want to be able to analyze and search this master plan in Power BI and find out, for example, which plots are single row like those. And in a minute we'll see that we have a sea here, so we'll see the plots having direct access to the sea here, which ones have a garden view, what are the different areas for the plots, and so on. So the first thing we want to be able to do is to export these plots in GIS format in specific shape files. But before we do that, we need to make sure that each of the plots is one continuous closed polyline. And as you can see here, those plots consist of lines. Usually this is how the drawings are prepared. They're lines and they're separated. So the first thing you need to do is to create closed polylines. I'll just create one for you to see how it can be done. You just type down polyline. Here it shows up and you just trace it. So select the first point, the second point, and so on. But before you close it, don't close it manually. Just to make sure it's closed, you can either right click and select close, or you can come from here and select close. So now we have one single closed polyline. So you need to do this for all the plots you want to export. I have another drawing prepared with all of them done. So here you can see they're all closed polylines. Now if you notice here, I'm using AutoCAD 3D map. You can also use Civil 3D. It will give you the same results. The next step now, you need to make sure that the coordinate system is correct. You just type down EDE set coordinate system. You can find the option here. Just click on it. So it will show you, you can select the coordinate system from here. So I have it already set here. It's UAE East. But if you click here, you can find all type of coordinates and you can search for the correct coordinate system. Once you have the coordinate system set correctly, you can turn on the map. Let's, for example, see the map road just to make sure it's in the correct location, and we can see here it looks correct, the correct location. So now we have the setup we need. Next, we are ready to export these plots into a shapefile, and to do this you just type down map export. You can find this option here, click on it. Let's call them plots and hit OK. This window will open for you. So what we want to export, you select polygon and you can select manually or select all. We'll keep it select all. So we want to export all the plots. Next we go to the data tab and select attributes, and we want to use the area, so export the area with each one of them. Click OK, and also you can add a unique ID for each of the plots automatically. Just select this one, let's name it ID, and finally you go to the options. So we want to treat closed polylines as polygons. Select this option and click OK. And we can see that 208 plots are exported. So now we can see the files created from the export. We can see here we have 6 different files, but we can't import those directly to Power BI. There is one more step we need to do. We want to convert everything into one JSON file. So let's see how we're going to do this. we're going to use free online tool that is called Mapshaper.org. I'll leave the link in the description for you. So what you need to do here, just hit select. The browser will open for you. So we have those plots we exported from the previous step. Select all of them and click open. Just keep everything as is and click import. So you can see now we have the different plots showing here. Next, you need to activate the console from here, and we need to do a couple of things. First, we need to set the correct projection. We just need to use the following command. So this is the GPS general projection, generally used for web maps. So just add this command line and hit enter. You can see now something happened. That means the projection has been applied. Now, if you remember, we exported the area and we assigned ID for each of the plots. Also, you can see them from here. So if you go to the select option here, you can select inspect features. If you click on it and hover over any of the plots, you can see on the top left corner the area and the ID is showing. So that's it. We're ready now to export this map to topography JSON file, and also we'll export a CSV file. Let me show you how to do this. On the top right corner, you click on export, and first you select the TopoJSON file and just hit export. You can choose the output directory and click export. So this opens to select the location you want to save. I'll just keep this location and save. Next, we want to export the CSV file. So again, you go to export, select the CSV option and hit export. You select the same location and save. So that's it. We have the files exported and we're ready. So we have two files. We have the plots file in CSV and we have the JSON file. Let's see how we can use this in PowerBI now. There's one thing we can do before we import this to PowerBI, which is adding the different features or the different fields to the CSV file. Let's open the CSV file we exported from the previous step. So if you notice here, we have ID for each of the plot and the area. We want to add different fields to see the corner units, the views, and different other properties. So I have the file prepared. I added the different fields. I added the status, whether it's sold, available, or reserved. And we have this, the C axis. We have different options. It's land side, or we have seaside, or easy access, or direct access. And we have view. What view these plots have: road view, school view, garden view, or sea view, and so on. And here we have true or false, whether it's a single row. And we have another true and false, whether it's a corner unit. And we finally have the price for each of the plots. So the idea is you add as many fields as you want to analyze them in PowerBI. Once you have the CSV ready, you can import everything now to PowerBI. So now we're inside PowerBI. We start by importing the CSV file. Go to Get Data, select Text or CSV file. So we have the CSV file we saw a minute ago. I'll just import it. So here it shows all the fields. We don't need to do any transformation. We're just going to load. So here we have everything is imported. Next, we're going to import the map. And if you remember from the previous tutorial where we saw how to use maps in PowerBI, we saw the option to use shape map, where you can use your custom map. So just click on it. Let's just resize it. And we'll feed to it in the location the ID. So here it automatically pick up the United States from the list of maps. So let's replace this map. You go to format your visual. You select map settings, and from the map type you go all the way down to custom map, and you can upload the JSON file we created in the previous step. So here's the file, double click on it, and you can see now our map is showing. You can also change the projection from here. You have different options, but we'll keep the default one. So now we can use the legends and the color saturation. For the legend, we're going to use the status, whether it's sold, available, or reserved. So just drag it here. You can see the legends are showing on the top. However, the colors are not applied in the map, and this is because you need to apply the color saturation. So this is kind of a bug in this visual, but you can overcome this simply by drag the ID again to the color saturation, and you can see now different colors showing as per the legends. Let's rename this to ID. You can change, of course, the colors. If you go to format your visual again, from the legend, from the fill colors, you can apply different color. For example, for available, we're going to use greenish color. For reserved, let's use yellow, and sold, we'll keep it as is. You can also change the border width from here. You can make it thicker or thinner, and you can select the color for blank areas. If you remember, in the map we had those areas, but here we didn't apply a legend for it, so I deleted them from the CSV file because they are the facilities of this master plan and we don't want to track their status. You can change the color from here, of course, maybe make them black. I think gray is better. Let's just keep them gray. So let's format this visual a little bit. From general, let's turn off the title, and from visual we can make the legends show in the top center. Again, from general you can remove the background. From effect, visual borders with rounded corner 10, add shadows in the center. So we have the map now. So if you hover over any of the plots, you can see the information. We can see the ID, the second ID is repeated and showing as count, which is 1. Let's replace this with the area actually. From area, just drag it to the color saturation. Nothing will happen, but we can see the area in the tooltip. Let's rename it to area. And you can also add more information in the tooltip. For example, we can add the price, we can add the view, and we can add the C-axis, for example. Let's rename them, get rid of the sum of and the first. So now, if you hover over any of those plots, you can see all the information and they update as you move along the master plan. So now, let's add the different cards and slicers. First, we'll use a card, and for this card, we're going to count the plots. So let's just use the ID, and we'll use count of ID. You can see here the total is 204 plots. We can only here show the number for specific status, for example available. So let's open the filter here, drag the status to the filters on this visual and select only the available. For example, you can see here we have 64 available plots. And we format this a little bit. We just go to label, we hide it, and from general we add title, name it available plots. We can change the text color to white. The background, we use the same legend color, which is the green. We put it in the middle, and we do the other formatting, and we repeat this card for the reserved and sold plots. So those are the different cards after some formatting. Next, let's add the filters to be able to filter this map and the numbers. Let's start by adding a slicer for the status. So we will use the default slicer from the visuals, and we'll feed to it the status. Let's format this, make the slicer settings, and instead of vertical list we're going to use tile, and we can put it across here below. We can also format it by remove the header, the slicer header. You can select the card on the top, and from home you select format painter and apply to this. So it will take the same formatting for the border and the background. So now if we select only available plots, you can see in the map everything is removed and only highlighting the available plots, the green ones. But here we can also see that those two cards are filtered out and showing blank. So we can do one simple trick to see 0 here instead of seeing blank by adding a simple measure. Right click on the table here, new measure, name it plots count, equals count the ID field, enter, and simply add a 0 at the end. So now let's replace the fields for the 3 cards. Let's select the card we created. So now we can see they're both showing 0. But also if you don't want this slicer to filter those 3 cards and you want those cards not to be affected by this slicer, you can simply select this slicer, and from format you can select edit interaction, and here you have 2 options, either to filter or none. We'll select none for the 3 of them, and we can see now this slicer only affects the map, it doesn't affect the 3 cards on the top. So let's now turn off the interaction. So this is the first slicer. Let's create more slicers now for area and price. The same way, select the default slicer, feed to it the area. It shows here the settings in between. Let's keep it this way, resize it, put it in the middle here, and again apply the same formatting, format painter, apply here. So now if we keep everything selected, we want to see certain areas, so only show me the areas within this range. You can see we have 8 reserved and 4 sold, and they are highlighted here. So this is a quick way to filter the map based on the area. Let's create a similar one for the price. We'll just copy this and move it here. Let's replace the field with the price, and again we can change the settings. From slicer settings we use between, so we have now the price between, so we can see only certain price range for the plots, only show me available, for example. So now we filtered for this area range, this price range, and only available plots, and they're all highlighted here. Now let's add other slicers. So now let's add other slicers to see more options for the view, for the C-axis, and whether it's a single row or a corner unit. We'll add 4 slicers here. So this is after adding all the slicers and formatting them a little bit. I added here a text box also to show that we can do search from here. So now let's test the slicers. For example, I will be looking only for available plots. Let's look for a specific area range, the specific price range. Let's assume that I want only the private beach. Those are the units that directly on the beach. I have 2 of them, and they are both single row, and they're not corner units, so there is no option to filter further. But here, if you notice in the map, we have the plots selected. If you want the map to zoom automatically to the selected plots, you can activate the zoom option. So select the map visual, go to format your visual, map settings, zoom settings. We can activate the auto zoom. You can see now it zooms to your selection, and we can also activate the manual zoom. Now this dashboard has many filters, so if you want to reset the filters, you don't want to do this manually for each of the slicers. So one option we can use is adding a reset filters button. To do this, you can go to Insert, select from Buttons, select the Reset button. Let's move it here. And from Action here, we can select the option for Clear All Slicers. Let's change the text color. From Style, select the text color to be white, for example, and we can see here the option to clear all slicers is available. So let's apply it to reset the filters. We can see now all the filters are cleared and the map showing everything. And that's it. We have our dashboard ready. I hope you found this tutorial informative. Before I leave you with a demo of the dashboard we crafted today, remember that you can download the PowerBI file, the GIS files, and all the material covered in this tutorial from a link in the description. Share your thoughts in the comments and smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more mind-blowing projects. Stay tuned for the next video where we will take the map to the next level. Until then, enjoy the demo. Peace.